Hi, and welcome back to the AFF Podcast, all for females in affiliate and partner marketing. I am so pumped to have Jade Mayberry, head of affiliate and partnerships at Dentsu, with us this week. Jade has been on so many of those top lists that you've seen, including top 20 global change makers, the Hero 100. She is currently the president of the Marketing Association Board of Directors. She has touched more than 100 affiliate programs over the years. She is the queen of grace and cool, and she is absolutely fabulous and so fun. I am so happy that you're here with me, Jade. Thank you for joining me this week.
My goodness, can you please do all of my introductions? Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor.
I am so glad that you're here. I am so proud to have you on here, and especially as the first woman of color who's been the president of the Performance Marketing Association. I feel like that seriously has to be recognized, because that is huge. We've had luckily a lot of women presidents in the past, and women have held up really good representation. But I think that it's incredible that you are the current president. You're the very first woman of color president, and it's such an honor to be on the board with you. So thank you very much for stepping into that role and for all that you do to help keep us organized, get us to actually do stuff, because that's not always easy as the PMA president, speaking from experience. And it's been really fun so far this year to be on the board, and I'm really excited that I get to have experienced you with the helm for my last year on the board. So thank you for all the work that you do. It's so greatly appreciated. Let's dive right in. And I would love to hear how you tripped and fell into the affiliate industry, just because nobody ever gets here on purpose. And I know that you have done some incredible work on the corporate side for multiple agencies. But how did that all lead into affiliate?
Oh my goodness. Before we get into that question and answer, I just want to thank you and Trisha Meyer and Sarah Beast Blay, Aaron Killian. Like, you guys were the reasons why I wanted to join the PMA and have made it to this point as sitting as the president this year. So thank you guys, because I started, messaging you guys on LinkedIn, like, oh, they look like cool women. I want to participate in that. And you guys were just so warm and welcoming and have taught me so much over the past couple of years. So wouldn't be here in that role if it weren't for you guys. So thank you.
I mean, you would be, because you're who you are, but we love
I
having
didn't realize how much hard work that was. Okay, like meeting, I'm like, and I need to do what? And where do I get that? And then I'm like, oh,
yeah.
really working for free here, really hard for the industry. Got it. So
But
yes.
we have so much cool stuff that we're doing this year. And I like, you can tell, I mean, I think one of the things is that it's really kind of and I don't mean this to offend anybody, but it's a little bit of a younger crowd this year. And I think that that's like breathing a little bit of new life into it, a little bit. And I love that. I love that. I mean, again, I've been doing it for 6 years, so I've seen all sorts of iterations of the board at this point. And this year, like, the vibes are different, and I really like it.
And Nickel said that too. He was just like, it's like the new generation's coming in. He's like, I'm all here for it. And he's another one that, I have to thank. I mean, like you said, I fell into it like literally. And so I guess I would go back to, honestly, I was introduced to affiliate at my first real job outside of college. And it was in a unique and interesting way. I started off working for these two former commercial talent agents who came from William Morris. So they were both named Rick. So picture Jade, Rick, and Rick. And they negotiate all the talent sponsorships and deals for the different celebrities for brands like Proactive Skincare, Cindy Crawford's Meaningful Beauty, all of that. And I was in like 3 different departments there, and we would manage the affiliate program on a platform called Cake. And
I remember Cake.
was not directly over affiliate, but was involved in the sense that I've always been a Jane of all trades. So it's like I'd be on one team in one department, but if somebody was like, who can figure this out? I'm like, let me take a stab at it. And so that was like my first introduction, working with the digital team and the retail team, to help get like these celebrities on, and then influencers were just kind of starting at the time. And yeah, I just remember Cake being a thing at Guthy-Rinker. And then I went on from there to really kind of focus on paid media. And I specialized in paid search first, and paid search and in programmatic. And so I went to this company called Matchcraft, which is now owned by Vendasta. I think that's the name of the company. And all of the agencies, all the big agencies were their clients. They had this proprietary technology where it would pace the budget for you, and you would build out these programs, and it would publish them into Google Ads and on Meta and stuff like that. And I picked it up really quickly, but after being at like Guthrie Rinker, and I would go to set and be involved with, again, the agents, the talent, the negotiating. I would see negotiations happen. I missed being around the people. And so kind of sitting behind this computer doing paid search, I was just like, oh my goodness, like I'm so bored. I was that one that they were like, do you have ADHD or what do you have, Jade? You're like up walking really fast to go see this person. Then I saw you over there talking. Are you done with work? I'm like, I've been done. Do you have anything else for me? And so that's when literally somebody was like, you should like look into affiliate. And I was like, I mean, the name sounds familiar, but we didn't even call it that. I think we just called it like partnership marketing, or like get the sponsored campaigns up or whatever. And I was just like, what is that? They're like, I don't know, but you can kind of marry all of your experience in like paid search with your experience with doing like sponsorships and stuff like that. And I was just like, whatever. And so I started looking for roles, and there was this cool agency at the time called One Stop Internet. Marshall Nyman was there,
Okay.
with a couple other people. And I applied for both roles. I applied for this paid search manager role that they had, and I applied for an affiliate role. And when I went in, they interviewed me for both. But my experience, hands-on experience at that time, was for paid search. So they were just like, you can just be in a hybrid role. So I joined there, and that's where I met the wonderful Erin. She was Erin Killian at the time. She's Erin Christiak now. And when I tell you, I like took the bull by the horns, I was like, hi. So I really like this affiliate thing. And at the time, we had the coolest brands. We had all of these like premium denim brands like Joe's Jeans, Paige Denim. I was best dressed. We were getting shoes from Aquatalia, Derek Lam. I was like, this is amazing. I would do the affiliate programs for all of them. And so the portfolio was fantastic, a lot of fashion brands, a lot of high-end stuff. And Erin just took the time to teach me. She was like, at that time, it was literally Marshall and I, and he was also doing email marketing. So we were outsourcing a lot of the work to Pepper Jam, Legacy Pepper Jam, which is Partnerize now. And so I'm like, I'm gonna figure out how I can like assume management of some of these things. And so at that time, I really was like, I want to learn. And she would answer my calls. She made a mistake to give me her cell phone number. Like,
Erin, rookie mistake, girl.
yeah, but she was the best teacher. And slowly but surely, like Marshall was there for like 8 months. He left soon after. And then I got promoted, took on somebody else, and like I'm like, okay, we're gonna scale this baby. And I remember going to my first conference. It was Pepper Jam Connect.
Mhm.
And I got a hold of Mara Smith when I got there. I was like, hi, hey girl, hey. I don't know if you know me, but like really trying to scale affiliate. And they really did help me. They were like, all right, let's have calls. They connected me with one of their business dev guys at the time. His name was Brad Edmonds. I don't even think he still does affiliate anymore. He came to LA and like he sat with me and was like, this is how you set it up. This is how you do it. And I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. And so at the time I was like, I'm going to consult. So I started Mayberry Consulting because One Stop was acquired by another company. I didn't really know where I wanted to go next, but as they were transitioning, I wasn't going to make the drive to Orange County because if anybody knows anything about LA traffic, like that was going to take me like 2 hours there.
Fair.
And we're like, hey, can't we just work with you? Like, can't you just manage our affiliate? And I'm just like, yeah, I think I could. Like, you could just hire me as a consultant or freelancer. So Mayberry Consulting was kind of born out of that, like in this very organic way, with just the brands being like, we just want to work with you. So it's like, okay, great. So I started doing that. And then I get this message on LinkedIn from these two cool guys starting an agency called Mute Six that had, it was like new. It was kind of like they knew the One Stop guys. They kind of knew what was going on. And Dan Rutberg and Moody and Steve Weiss, who a lot of people know, they like, hey, come in, let's chat about affiliate. We're getting a lot of our clients asking for it. So I go in for what I think is just like potentially a consultant, like I could consult for the agency. And then I didn't leave for like, I don't know how long. I think like until Dentsu acquired Mute Six, they're like, stay, set up the affiliate service offering. And I'm like, okay, but I kind of also do Mayberry Consulting. And they were so supportive of being entrepreneurial. There were other people there who kind of did their own thing. They're like, as long as you don't come for our clients, I don't care what you do, as long as you do your work here. And honestly, they were really empowering in the sense of like, yeah, do that and do this and we're good. And so
I love that. You never see that. You never see that. Like there are so many non-competes out there now, and that's like, don't you dare attempt to do something on your own when you're under our roof. And I think that that's wild because it's so limiting for people.
It really is. But I think that like they all had other things going on and it was just a young, everybody was super young. The two founders are like in their early 30s, like we're all similar in age. They just wanted the best of the best. I think I was maybe like the 13th or 15th hire. Everyone there was like the top of their game for whatever it was that they were doing. So I was surrounded by nobody but future founders and future, and they all have their own agencies now. Like shout out to Jesse Beer. He just like he went to Lunar Solar Group. They just acquired Meat Six from them. So I'm like, hi Jesse. I worked with him at Guthrie Rinker. So it's like I have these very long work buddies and relationships, you know, for decades and years now, which is another thing like we can get into. It's just like the network is deep, the roots are deep, and like it was a fabulous time and I learned so much, but it was the women at Pepper Jam that helped me set up my first affiliate service offering at an agency and like I've never looked back.
I love it. Erin and Mara have also both been so integral in their work with the Performance Marketing Association. I remember meeting Erin for the first time at Affiliate Summit, God, years ago, and I went to have a conversation. I was with another agency, but have a conversation about what we could do to optimize one of the brands we were working with on Pepper Jam. And what's funny is Mary Ellen Graske, who she was at Jane for a while. She was like, "Can I come sit in on your meeting? I would just have a really important question that I need to ask Erin." And that led to a job for Mary Ellen at Pepper Jam, not Partner Eyes, that like spurred from that meeting, which was so, so funny. But I remember seeing Erin's hair. And if you know Erin, she's got like one of the best heads of hair that you've ever seen in real life. And like, I just sat across from her and I was like, she's got the best hair. I can't even pay attention. I cannot concentrate. But she's such a sweetheart. I love working with her. I've worked with her on, I was on the marketing committee with her last year for the PMA and just great ideas and such a sweet, sweet, sweet person. And Mara did so, so much to help set up the PMA for success. And she's always been a real kind of cheerleader and champion for other people in the industry. So yeah,
Yeah, I just remember
with.
like, oh, she's such a boss and seeing a female in like a C-suite leadership role because like, you know, it's male dominated. So she was one of the only ones during that time. This is like circa 2015, you know, ish that I'm just like, oh, look, like she's a boss lady, she's doing the thing and like, you know, in a sea of guys, like she's holding her own. So I
Yeah.
just remember singling her out and being like, I'm following along.
That one right there. You've worked with some really, really cool brands over the years. I took a look at the Mayberry Consulting page because I'm a stalker, obviously. And I saw some of the brands that you've worked with there. You just mentioned some really cool high-end fashion brands. Tell me about one of the most fun campaigns that you've ever run.
Oh my goodness. There are so many. But I remember again, like just kind of going back to the time when I worked closely with Pepper Jam. Influencer marketing was just taking off then. And it was like a thing that people were like, how do we bring this into affiliate? And we did these cool campaigns for Joe's Jeans. And we did one for another denim brand called NYJD at the time. And if they were influencer affiliate campaigns. And I just remember us figuring it out as we went and like onboarding these, you know, 5 influencers and like working with LTK at the time and like trying to get things up and running and went on at Meet Six to offer affiliate influencer marketing as well until someone else came over to take over that because it was still kind of fairly new. But that was really cool. And then I think too, another really fun campaign for a more controversial brand at Meet Six that I worked with was with Brandon Leonard at growbible.com when TikTok was new. When TikTok was first running ads, he came on and for this veteran owned brand, we figured out TikTok together. Like no one was activating, you know, ads and doing social whitelisting at that level, and nobody was really testing it on TikTok. And we kind of did that together with the Pepper Jam team. The three of us were like, okay, this isn't working. This is not working. This is working. And if I could go back then, there were awards to submit. I would have submitted that one. But I remember that being the first, you know, TikTok campaign that we did with an affiliate content publisher at the time at Meet Six. And everybody was like super proud of it. And it still, you know, has those benchmarks today. I think he sent out his media kit the other day. I was like, I've worked on every single one of those brands. Like,
I love Brandon. I love that team. They do such good work. I just rolled out a couple campaigns with them with a couple different brands, and they are just a dream to work with. I mean, as somebody who's been on the content side, like I know what a pain in the butt it is to work with,
And like
brands
seeing
and
that person, like,
all
let's
that.
try something new. He's like,
And he's so willing to be like, you know what, that didn't work. Let's try this instead. And I think, it's so often that we work with content partners that they'll be like, this is how I do it, and like there's no flexibility, there's no like effing around and finding out. And I think that Brandon is so, so good at being like, I'm gonna throw spaghetti at a wall, see what sticks. And like once that sticks, like we'll run with it, and
yeah,
that's I
totally
that
that person where he's like, oh, there's an email from Jake. What is she asking to try now? Like, so that was literally around like 2018, 2019. I think we ran those ads from like literally like 2018 to 2020. Yeah. And really kind of got an understanding of TikTok and how that advertising works, alongside them. So that's always very cool to just be like a baseline for other brands and to know that your benchmarks are being used by other agencies or people who are like, have you tried this before? Yes, here's some numbers. This is what worked, what didn't. So very
yeah,
cool.
that's awesome. That it's so cool, and especially like to have those learnings going forward. So speaking of TikTok, I know that you're a TikTok girly, like I'm a TikTok girly.
I mean,
What
I'm
is
like
your
stuff
current,
all the time.
literally like any free second, I'm on TikTok checking in to see, what the newest skit or whatever.
Mhm.
What is your current favorite content on TikTok right now?
I don't know if I should say it. It's the people turning, okay, it's the people turning in the Teslas, trading in the Teslas for the new cars because I live in California. Everybody has Tesla here.
Yeah.
Half of those people live here. And they're turning in, and it's like the garage opens, the Tesla backs out, the garage opens again, and it's like this fabulous new car. And I'm just like obsessed with the trade-ins. I've never owned a Tesla, but they're funny.
It is funny. I love those too. I think those are super funny. I also love the people that are like really putting in time with skits right now. Like there's like Shauna the mom, and obviously being a parent, like I'm definitely on mom talk. And then there's like the group chat, which is hilarious. If you haven't seen that, go watch that.
So good.
And then there's Alejandro, a guy who is like he's like a one-man show, creating his own skit about like two guys dating each other, but it's him dating him. Just like amazing. The people who are putting the time to do these skits right now, everybody be quiet, my show's on.
Yeah. No, it's so amazing. And I do like to learn the dances.
Yeah. I do too. I did one. I mean, everybody knows I'm a Swiftie. Probably the only dance that I've ever published was me doing the down bad dance in front of the Eiffel Tower when I was in Paris to see Taylor. And I like sort of nailed it, but I'm a white girl with no rhythm, so I can only nail it so far. Let's be fair. You worked, it sounds like, with a lot of males when you were coming up in the industry. And I know that there's a lot of challenges kind of going along with that. I'm so glad that you did get connected with Erin and Mara, some amazing women examples. But I'd love to hear about some of your challenges as a woman, and particularly as a woman of color coming up in a very largely white male dominated industry, because there are certainly things that you've had to navigate slightly differently than other people have had. So I'd love to hear any challenges and especially any learnings that you have taken away from that to help equip you to just succeed. And also, whether you are taking some of that and imparting that on other women of color you see coming into the industry.
Yeah, I know that's a great question. I think first and foremost, whether it's like a good thing or bad thing, I've had to become used to being the only person of color in the room, like male or female. I'm often literally just the only person of color a lot of times. But that's changed over the years. Like there are a lot of other, I have a lot of really strong Asian friends in the community. I have a lot of strong Hispanic friends in the industry. And so there are others who have come forward, but there are not a lot of African American people in general, male or female, in this industry. So I've kind of gotten used to just like, I don't know if you call them blinders, but it's like I expect it. I come into the room and I do not expect to see anyone that looks like me. And I'm just like, I went to UCLA, which is very diverse, but I majored in English literature and there was nobody. It was just me. But yeah, I'm kind of used to it, but I can say like I fortunately like have not had too many bad experiences. Like I will say something funny. I'll share a funny story. I think because my name is very neutral, whenever I would like apply to jobs or meet people online and I would show up, they would be like a little surprised. And then later I would ask them, like, were you surprised? It's like, you know, yeah. Like based on where you lived and your name, where you went to school, I thought you were gonna be like white Asian or I was like, well, this is what she got there. Like, and I'm so happy I did. So it's just like that's always been a funny joke of like might even just like people being like, I didn't expect you to look the way you look, but like welcome. So that's always been a funny thing. And now we have like LinkedIn and stuff so people can see what you look like way ahead of time and find videos like this online. So hopefully it's less of a shock when they do meet me in person, so I don't have that laugh anymore now that they can, you know, just search my name and figure out what I look like and where I am. But yeah, I think that, you know, for the thing that I think I've had to struggle with is just getting credit, like actually getting credit for the work that I do. Some people like taking credit or not giving me the credit, enough credit or credit for everything that I've done, downplaying my contribution in certain things and not say and me not saying anything, me being just like, I guess I should just be grateful that I'm here. So let me just shut up.
Yeah. So do you feel like you've had to like kind of own your voice and own your power in those situations so that it's like, I'm standing 10 toes down. I earned this. Like,
Honestly, I'm just now kind of at the stage where I feel like I have enough years under my belt because there's also a thing with being perceived as like younger and like less experienced. And now that I've been in the industry, you know, like 12, 13 years, I'm like, hey, I'm middle aged now. I'm speaking up. The good thing is that there were usually other people, other women, sometimes other men that would be like, you know what? I think Jade played a role in this.
good.
So I relied strongly on advocates and been really grateful for people to speak up on my behalf during the times that I couldn't.
I'm very proud of you for not making yourself smaller. And for owning your space, because it's not always easy to do. And I mean, I can definitely relate to like now that, it's at like 13 years in the industry, it's like, oh, I know a thing or two about a thing or two. I have the accolades and the awards, and we were kind of talking about this the other day privately. It's like I have the stuff to back it up. And there's really no reason for me to shrink myself or to, dull my own sparkle just because y'all don't want me to. Like,
Exactly.
I want
Sparkle,
you to
sparkle.
say.
That's the thing we have on our Dentsu affiliate team that I really try hard to instill in my team, who's a very young team. So I literally say sparkle, sparkle, and they're like, I got it. Here I go.
I love it. I love it. How do you think that better representation could help move our industry forward?
Oh my goodness. I mean, we'd be a lot cooler and have a lot more newness in the sense because that's just opening it up to more ideas, to, different ways of doing the same thing. And just more collaboration. But I mean, I think the PMA already has started, with allowing me to sit on the board. Like there have been people of color who have reached
You
out.
don't just sit on the board. You're the president. We elected you the president. Okay.
There have been other people who have reached out saying, hey, I think I want to join the PMA, or hey, I see you over there doing this. And whether they're, a person of color or just a woman, there have been other people that have joined after reaching out to me saying, like, I never really considered it, but I see you doing this or that. So I feel like I would, be fine. I'm like, this is such a safe space. You should join. And then I've had other friends. I have a good friend of mine. His name is Jabari Marshall. He's like, so he was Barbie on Instagram, the voice of Barbie on Instagram once. Yeah. And African American guy, football player, went to Duke. You would like the exact opposite of Barbie. This guy,
I love him already.
yeah. And I'm just like, hey, you should like try affiliate marketing. And he worked on activating some programs like with Shericel Awin for like Black owned golf companies and stuff like that. And he's like, this is something I think I should be working on. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And consulted with me and did it. And so there are Black owned businesses and brands and other people getting into the business. And I think that we'll see more of that in the future. And I was just happy to be like recognized as someone that they could reach out to and say like, hey, I see you dabble in this. Like, is this something we could do? And I'm like, definitely. I've activated so many golf brands like in the channel, like we could definitely do it. Like, but yeah, and it shows that you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcomed. It's a safe space. Please join. Please come.
Trisha and I mentioned this last week. Dustin and I have talked on it a few times. Like, women make really good account managers or affiliate managers, and it's largely because our targets that we're reaching out to are women. I very much think that it would be very similar with people of color who are managing accounts, bringing on Black-owned businesses, bringing on Asian-owned businesses, because that representation, that just feeling seen is so important. But it is a comfort zone. Like, it's a safe space, like I can only imagine, of course, how intimidating it would be to be a Black-owned business being like, I want to build this up, and entering a room full of white people and being like, "Ooh, okay," and like we should all be comfortable where we are, and we should all be met where we're at. And I definitely think more representation, more diversity in the industry would help get us to that point. But I love that you did that. I love that it's
It's
amazing.
it's in progress. It's
Yeah.
in progress. We see a little more color every year.
I love it. Or do you actively work to mentor other women of color in the space? And how can companies kind of encourage that?
Yeah, I think I might, again, there's so many people that have my cell phone number, my email. I have so many people that used to report into me that I still keep in touch with that will like message me mainly for like advice on how to like negotiate salary or like should I make this move? And so that's something that motivates me. I have like this little stash of like cards. I have little drawings of like a female firefighter that's meant to be me from like team members and stuff. All women who've just been like, oh my goodness, you were such a great boss, and like it instilled the confidence in me to like go after this or go after that. And yeah, like there's one woman of color. She's at Partnerize now. We kind of chat from time to time and like encourage one another. And she reached out to me not too long ago. She was just like, yeah, like you're kind of the only one that I can reach out to. I'm like, keep going, you're doing amazing, baby. Like, Chris Jenner, you're doing amazing. I'm like,
You're doing great.
yeah, and like that's also my nickname. Don't tell the team I told them, but yeah, they're like momager Christian. kind of kind of the vibe here.
I
Only
love that.
I'm in LA, the home of like the birth of influencer marketing, if you will.
What's your top tip for people, whether it's women or people of color or anybody who wants to get into affiliate marketing but don't really know where to begin? Where should they start?
Oh my goodness, start like where I started. Like find somebody, message them, ask them if they want to have a call, if they want to have a chat, and just find somebody to talk to. I think, even when I wanted to join the PMA, I had the call with Sarah B. She took coffee with me and she was like, yeah, this is how it is. I'm like, okay, great. I was scared. At that point in time, I was like, oh, Trisha seems like intense and a lawyer and like busy. I'm not going to ask her. You are always super open and like just big positive energy. So I'm like,
Personality hire. I've said that. I'm just the
oh.
personality hire of the PMA.
I was like, I'm going to ask Kristen. I'm going to ask Sarah, Therapy's Cowplay. And it's like, everybody's just so nice. And now I like learned the most from Trisha. Like at first she was so intimidating. And now she's just like, Jade, this is how you moderate. This is how you do it. Moderating is so hard. I don't know how she does all that. I don't know how y'all do that. But I was like, please, never again. You can keep this job, girl. Sweating by the time I was done. It's so hard. Just reach out. Like, reaching out is definitely where to start. And if you don't hear back, find somebody else and reach out to them. But like, don't stop. Somebody's going to respond. Someone's going to take the virtual coffee date. Someone's going to meet up with you for coffee or lunch. And like, we all love to talk about what we do in this industry. Like, it's built on relationships. It's weird. We have like this weird sort of incestuous thing going on in our industry where it's like we're competitors, but we're also not. It's just, this is happening. How did you guys correct this? And I call it the digital streets. We get in the digital streets up in our PMA Slack channel, the Martech Record Slack channel, and we help each other out. We're like, this is what's going on. This is how I resolved it. Now this is happening. We're all, sharing notes. And so I just highly doubt someone won't take the time to talk to you if you want to get into the affiliate industry, because like we are just like those people. We love to talk, we love to meet, we love developing relationships and maintaining relationships. So
we do love to yap. That is very true. If you could change one thing about affiliate marketing today, what would it be?
I think the channel doesn't get the full credit that it deserves. And I think it's just still there's some things that are a little antiquated about it. We have so many different like pieces of tech that don't necessarily stack well with other tech. And like, I think that that's the one thing I would change, is, and maybe that's just a mindset. I know for us, for me, myself, I have a philosophy where I just do partnerships. Like we manage brands that are on no affiliate network or platform, where we just do direct buys and other things for them. And so maybe that's just more of a mindset thing, but there's sometimes limitations and like visibility and transparency, and like this doesn't stack well with this, and like this doesn't integrate into this measurement system. And so some people will shy away from even giving the channel a chance because they feel like it's going to be more manual work, a bigger lift, and it's a little bit more time consuming and grueling. And so, we have to really tell them that we'll handle everything and like kind of hold their hand and be like, we got you, it's fine. And so, we can't move as fast as other channels. So, it's an expectation and sort of that we have to set up up front that it's a slower moving channel in that sense. And it's a little more hands-on, kind of like PR and influencer marketing still, but affiliate, I think sometimes hits a roadblock with that.
Yeah, I agree. When I first got in the industry, there was a lot of talk of it being like a passive channel, and I can pretty earnestly say that there is basically nothing passive about it. Like what a misnomer. Like obviously, yes, of course, you can have a link that's up that generates revenue over time, and like 8 years later, it's still generating revenue. Love that for those people. But from an actual account management standpoint, that could not be further from the truth.
No, I'm like, this is the high communications channel.
Yeah.
High call volume, high email volume.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Constantly talking to people, but that's why we like it. I very much consider myself an introverted extrovert. I spend so much time by myself. But once I'm peopling, like I am peopling, but then I get to like peace out and not people anymore, which I also really enjoy. Speaking of people, the last time I saw you in person, Jade, was at Affiliate Summit. And we ran into each other at that speakeasy, which I love a speakeasy at Affiliate Summit. Love, love, love. And you and I discovered that we very much have the foodie theme in common. Tell me about the best meal that you've ever had.
My favorite steak is, because I'm into steak right now, and it's at Boa Steakhouse, the Manhattan Beach location. There's also Santa Monica location, and it is the Cajun cowboy steak. So it's a little spicy. It's a ribeye cut.
Okay.
So currently, right now, when I would like a steak, I head over to Boa and get that spicy Cajun cowboy steak, and that is current. And then I get a bougie baked potato,
Yeah,
and
obviously.
that it has. It's like twice baked, fully loaded, and it has caviar on top. So it has two types of caviar.
Sign me up immediately.
So between that and the bougie baked potato, I'm just over here like, if I die or get prison, I'm good.
Die happy. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
take my little coins for this bougie baked potato and ribeye. So
I hope
currently
you had
that
the
is
most
my table.
delectable glass of wine with that too. Like that would have to be, it have to be. So next time I come down to LA,
More with that. Yes.
where do you see some exciting opportunities for brands and publishers coming up in the future?
Goodness. I feel like this is going to sound like deja vu, because we were on a convergence like a couple of years ago with affiliate and PR and influencer, but I think it's happening again with social commerce and with retail media networks also activating affiliate programs. And so we're doing that now too. And it's like I'm seeing more requests come in for affiliate creator programs, and they've just kind of come up with this like new term. And you're like, oh, okay. And exactly where are these ads running? Exactly where are the influencers sending the traffic? And like they're calling them affiliates because sometimes it's like strictly on a pay per performance model. And so, that all kind of sprung out of like TikTok shop affiliate, like the YouTube shopping affiliate program and stuff. But now the retail media networks like Walmart Creator, Amazon's been the beast in that space with their Amazon Associates affiliate program. They have Amazon Creator now. They have all kinds of stuff. There's like 3 different programs. And so I see retail media networks and affiliate working more closely together now as well. I think that working with someone who just understands that model, that pay for performance model, understands how to negotiate, manage the relationships, the partnerships, also just being able to give a strategy that's more of the integrated media strategy where you have that strong cross team and cross channel collaboration. So it's like, hey, if we launch this creator campaign, whether they are considered an affiliate and logging into a traditional affiliate platform, or whether they're coming into your TikTok shop affiliate program, or whether they're in your Walmart creator affiliate program, or maybe they're in more than one, like this is the strategy. And so I think that's where we're evolving into. I think that's where us as the experts in the space should be learning about, following closely, and having that strategy knowledge, that strategic approach that knows how to marry all of that together, knows how they all, where they intersect, how they work together. And that's going to just lead to so much opportunity for the brands and for the publishers. We see publishers also doing Amazon affiliate. They're also in the traditional affiliate. They're going to be in like the Walmarts, the retail media networks next. And so that's just kind of where everything is going. And it's exciting because that's all still technically affiliate marketing. It's all still partnership marketing. And so, like the swim lanes are kind of not really there. So I'm just ignoring them now.
I love that. Free swim, baby.
Backstroking on over to retail media, backstroking on over.
Coming on down the slide.
It's like, what lane?
Yeah, no, I love that. And I agree. Like, when I got in the industry as a blogger, bloggers were influencers, and we were running like PR campaigns, and it was very much like the advertorial, all of those pieces. And then we saw them kind of get more defined as like bloggers are not influencers, bloggers are affiliates, or publishers. And then if you're on social, then you're an influencer, and like just kind of all of those different pieces. And then, yeah, we've been seeing kind of like it's almost like they all kind of converge and then they'll pull back a little bit and then they'll converge a little bit further and then they'll pull back just a little bit more, but with like greater integration each time. And like, I think probably not this pulse of it, but like the next pulse of it, it's just going to be like a big muddy mud of all of them really, really heavily integrated.
Yeah, because it's like a blogger likely has an Instagram, likely has a TikTok, has their website, their own and they're operated, but they have social media as well. And we have like Substack and other things coming out now as well too. So there's just there's so many mediums for content to live on, and everyone's diversifying because look, will TikTok be here in another couple months? Like I think so, but like yeah, it's always great to be in more than one channel and more than one place and stuff. So,
well, and you should be. I know Trisha and I talked about it last week, and it's something that I am very passionate about just because I, as a creator, went through the first Pinterest iteration of removing affiliate links and like saw all the backlash within, the wedding community in particular at that time. Diversification is really important and we should continue to encourage on it, but that means that we also need to continue to educate on it. If we ever put all of our eggs in just, one third party owned social basket, then we're going to get screwed at the end of the day. Nobody wants that.
Wants that. Nobody
Yeah.
wants.
What are some of the skills that you think are must haves for working in affiliate?
I mean, you have to have strong communication. Like I'm much better written than I am spoken. And I think that being a strong writer is like even my friend, my team and everybody, they made me like chat GPT. Like they're just like, can you read over this and edit it for me? And that's always just been kind of like my thing, especially if you have a difficult email or there's a lot of, information and stuff in it. Like put on my little legal hat and I'm just like, yeah, okay, this is how we want to word this. We don't want to say that. But I think having really strong communication skills and like not allowing that to exhaust you because you really do need that in our industry. Again, high email, high call volume, like there's always something going on. You're always texting, typing, talking to somebody. So if you are not somebody that can handle that or doesn't like that, maybe go back like paid search, like be more like quiet behind the scenes where you're not in these meetings. You just kind of have to work, within a platform and not necessarily talk to people.
You really do need people skills, and like that, yes, I mean, written communication is just as important. I'm with you. Like I'm also the person that everybody sends things to edit or like help rework or whatever. I love that. I love
Websites, you and Jim are like constantly
it.
writing the copy.
I mean, I went to journalism school, so it's kind of natural for me, as I'm sure it would be for you with English Lit. Like there are people that are very much words people, and I'm very lucky because like one of my best friends in the industry is a spreadsheet person, and I am not a
That's
spreadsheet girly. Like I'm learning.
Duncan and Ali Krager on my team. I'm like, here, make this make sense. Here's
And like, thank goodness for those people because I just can't. I can't. The wall of numbers gets me every single time. But give me some text to rework. Got you, boo. Every day. Every day. All right, let's wind this down a little bit. What is your ultimate hype song for, speaking on a panel or like those moments when you are just like, I need to get hype about this?
oh my goodness, I have so many, and now I can't like think of the names to like any of them. But it's like I go to Nicki Minaj, I go to Taylor, I go to Cardi B. It's like those strong women that have these really strong, empowering songs. It's like you can't go wrong. I love Katy Perry. If I'm feeling down, like I gotta put on that Roar song. I gotta put on so whenever I'm like in a mood, I like let me just play this Katy Perry song, help me out. But Beyonce, you can never go wrong with
Never
Beyonce.
go wrong with Beyonce.
But yeah, there's like a couple of Nicki Minaj songs that I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, that. I love it. I love it. What is your conference fit vibe?
Oh my
Because
goodness.
you always look classy as hell too, like so classy. And I'm like, sometimes I feel like because I mean, obviously, I'm just gonna wear whatever's loud and fits me. Sometimes I look at you and I'm like, shit, I should have dressed classier.
Like I don't see as many people in person. So when we go to the conferences, I'm like not sleeping. It's like meeting people from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. If I go to sleep, might just come in, change, and keep going. And then having to like be on panels and stuff and try to represent everybody correctly, like my company, the company I work for, the PMA. I'm like, let me not embarrass anybody, like myself or anybody else. And I think I like, like, I don't even know what the vibe is. I always have to be comfortable. So I'm usually like with a sneaker, and if I'm in a hill, it's a very low heel that
Mhm.
I can walk and hit that pavement in, the pavement of Las Vegas or New York. It's like, you're not going to catch me like crippled and barefoot. So like shoes are very important at the conference. So I bring like my cool sneakers. I've always got like my Converse with me, my Golden Goose sneakers with me, but then I'll have like a low product kitten heel or something like that with me for if I need to be a little sassy on the stage. But it's like business casual, I would say. And then I always like a dress or a skirt for the days that we have the PMA happy hour because I don't know, it's like in the morning, you drinking mimosas, and I've just always been partial to a dress for that day. So you usually find me in a dress. I love the brand Farm Rio for dresses.
Farm Rio.
Yeah.
I have a fantastic jumpsuit from them that like I hate that I've already worn it at multiple conferences because I hate being an outfit repeater too. My home clothes are definitely repeats, but like when I go to a show, I'm like, I want something new. I want something fresh. And yeah,
On my edit for Rakuten's Optimism. I'm excited to go. They have this fabulous keynote speaker, Boz St. John. She's on like The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. When
yeah,
I saw that as the keynote speaker, I was like, no, I'm saying hi or I'm getting a photo. So I have to have an outfit.
I can't wait to see it. I love it. Let's do some shameless self-promotion. What do you want to hype up right now?
I just want to hype up Mayberry Consulting and Dentsu Affiliate. I think that if you guys are interested in, wanting to get into the affiliate space, if you're already in the affiliate space but have stalled and you want somebody, who's been an expert in the space, take a look under the hood, reach out.
Amazing. And what about the PMA?
You have to join. You need to join.
Have to.
Yeah, the ticket pays for itself if you come in, at the silver level. Again, we're currently have the offer for Affiliate Summit East. So if you know that you're going or someone on your team's going, now's a great time to join so you can take advantage of the discount or the free ticket. And again, I already mentioned the digital streets are alive in the PMA Slack channel. So it's like having a lifeline. It's like having a phone a friend. Like, again, there's been a lot of things happening since December to now, like whether it's like lawsuits or other things and all kinds of stuff's been popping. And to feel like you have a community at your fingertips that you can go to and say, hey, is anyone else seeing this? How are you responding to your clients when they ask you these questions about this? We are all ready and willing to share how we're responding, what we're doing, what we've noticed. We get regular real-time updates, like whether it's Trisha on like where the tariffs are, or like, hey, did you submit whatever? If you have an LLC, you need to submit this for your taxes. Like we stay on top of everything, like, and we keep everybody from, getting in trouble with the law from losing clients. So if just for those two reasons, just to, get more of your team members to a conference or just to have that community lifeline, the Performance Marketing Association is like the best for that.
It's the best. And you guys have an opportunity if you join the PMA, come meet the board of directors during our upcoming virtual meet and greet on May 7th at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I will be there. Jade will be there. A lot of us.
Will you be there?
Are you going to be there? You should definitely come by, check it out. We're a good time. We're a good time. Jade, thank you so much for joining me today. This was so much fun. Are there any last words that you want to say out to the women and people of the affiliate universe?
Oh my goodness, just stay strong, continue to be advocates for one another, speak for those that cannot speak up for themselves, whether they're because they're not in the room, they don't have a seat at the table, or because they're too quiet or too shy or afraid to speak up. But yeah, the women are such baddies in the affiliate space. So thank you, Kristen, for creating this new safe space and this content, this outlet for encouragement and motivation for women within our industry. Like it was very needed, and so many people are so excited, and I can't wait to see who comes on next.
Yay. Well, thank you so much, Jade. And thank you for your continued advocacy of the channel, for diversification in the industry, and for just doing good and being a good person within the industry. You're so appreciated. And I hope that we can continue to work together and hang and all of that. And thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Definitely will. Thank you so much.